Hello, I'm Cindy Arenberg Seltzer, President and CEO of the Children's Services Council of Broward County. Welcome to another edition of Future First, Focus on Broward's Children. Transitioning from high school to college can be one of the most exciting yet tense experiences in a young person's life. Succeeding once in college is not always easy. According to U.S. News and World Report, as many as 1 in 3 first-year college students do not return for their sophomore year. The challenges range from academic struggles and managing finances to family issues, and perhaps the loneliness and the challenges of being far from home for the first time. In addition, there are youth like those in the foster care system who face even greater challenges and therefore are at greater risk of dropping out of school. Thankfully, there are efforts to coordinate and grow support services to help students become college-ready and career-focused, beginning while they are still in high school. To discuss some of the ways youth are being helped in their transition to college, I am joined by Dr. Steve Rios, co-founder of Florida Reach and chair of Florida Reach in Broward County, Dr. Rozalia Williams, president of Student Life Matters, an organization that focuses on college student development, and Taevon Harvin Pierre, a youth in Florida Youth SHINE Broward chapter and a Broward College student. Later, we'll hear from Tom Albano, District Director of College Readiness and Community Outreach with Broward College. Welcome to all of you.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me, Cindy.
It's really a pleasure to have you. Dr. Williams, I want to start with you because I think you have sort of that big picture of what's going on and why we need to be even more concerned about this issue at this time.
Well, I'm really happy that we're talking about this now, and it's very, very timely because there have been studies that show that we need at least another 5 million college graduates just to be able to meet labor force demands by 2020. Wow. So we really need to start talking about getting students into college and getting them to the point where they're graduating.
You know, we talk a lot in the country about college. I mean, you hear that all the time. You want to go to college, you got to get to college. I think this topic of what happens once you get there is really not discussed very much. We talk about student debt, but not what it's really like to be a young person going to college today. Taevon, you bring that experience to the table today. Can you talk about your experience?
It'd be my pleasure. Well, I aged out of foster care when I was 18, and during that time I was a senior at Piper High School, and during my senior year, I faced a lot of challenges because I knew I was turning 18, and I knew that I was going to be on my own. So the thought of me being on my own was kind of scary because I was alone since I was 13, fending for myself. So the thought of actually growing up alone and taking care of, actually handling more responsibilities was kind of a fright for me because it was so easy in a group home where you have staff and counselors and people that come in and help you. And then when they send you out there into the world, it's like, who can I call, who can I lean on for advice or just that comfort to know that everything's going to be okay the next day or I can move on. So when close to my graduation, I turned 18, I moved into my apartment, Coconut Creek, and it was weird to me because I woke up, the house is quiet. Normally there's, my group home mates, brothers running around, getting ready for school, dressed, really family oriented. So when I lost sight of that, I fell back into my shell and kind of stayed enclosed, never really talked to anybody, just went to school and work. And that was even an issue. Transportation to get into school was a hassle. I have to catch 3 buses to get to school, and I'll get there by 8 o'clock. School starts at 7:30. Sometimes a bus wouldn't even make it on time. So really going to school was like another hassle for me. And then I have to make it work. Getting that extra money helped me to buy TV, internet, cable, games, just to entertain myself. And really, I was all in it for the wrong reasons when I decided to get my GED and drop out of high school. It was all for the wrong reasons. I didn't really want to go far. I never even thought about going to college. When I got my GED, I just wanted to get my GED and say I'm done and I got it. Okay, so now what's next? When it came for that what's next, I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what I should do. So it was really hard on me. Mm-hmm.
And now I happen to know you're involved in one of the CSC funded future prep programs, which are really meant to help you through that transition. Did you get any support from them?
I didn't get any support until later, until I told my story and what I was going through, because my life coach, he would call me and say, oh, are you okay? Are you doing good? And I'll tell him, yeah, you know, I'm good. And he would automatically believe it because everyone's seen me as Taevon, this kid who can overcome anything and make it over any obstacle. So when I was seen when people started to see me that way, I knew I was always that way, but like for people to kind of say that it wasn't something I would always hear every day. So when I heard that, it was like, oh, okay, so now there's more pressure on me to like make it and succeed. So I just always told them, yeah, I'm okay, I'm good, I'm going to figure it out and I'll make it. So after I turned 18, I moved in. It was like mid-May, my life coach, he came and saw me and he was like, oh, you know, they want to kick you out because like you're not going to school and you got to move. And I was like, where am I going to go? Because there's no housings opening. And I was kind of still in school, but not really. I just didn't go. I started going to ATC, GED program. So I finally withdrew from school, and it was all down the hill from there. It was.
And how did you get back on track? And now I know you are a student at Broward College, so what turned it around for you?
Knowing that I had a future and knowing that I wanted to be somewhere in the future, I knew I wanted to live properly and successfully. I wanted to go through those normal things I guess kids go through. Like they go to college, they get internships, they get jobs, they enjoy summertime, they, you know, live life. You know, shortly after you graduate college, you get a good job, you have kids, married a wife. And those are good things I want for myself because I never really had a family, so I want a family in the future. So in order for me to have a family first, I have to first take care of myself in order to take care of my own. And so when I grasped that concept, I knew that I had to like get everything together and be a better me and grow into a, you know, fine, sharp young man.
Which you clearly are. And that's a pretty big life lesson to learn at a tender age. Everybody struggles with that. You obviously had a tougher time growing up with challenges that many of us could never even imagine. But that struggle to come to who you are and what you want to be is, I think, a universal one. Mm-hmm. So congratulations on that.
Thank you.
And getting into Broward College. The struggle doesn't end there. No. Now there you are. And you've been looking for a little support with that. Is that right?
Yeah, that is correct. I've been wanting to like find a mentor, someone to kind of guide me through my career path, because I felt as if, okay, up until I was 18, I learned the morals of life, respect, carry yourself properly, you know, just kindness and the small little things that matter. Now that I'm in college, I know my career path and I know where I want to go. So now I'm ready to find that mentors, people or a group of people who can kind of help me and hone my skills a little to be better at my career, because I kind of want to do it all.
And we want to see you do it. And that's a good place to bring Stephen, I think, because one of the things I love about Broward County is the way the synergy works. We don't just sit on our hands. When we hear a problem, we jump on it. And you heard about Taevon and you immediately went to work.
Yes. For a number of years, I've really been involved in helping young people from foster care try to overcome some of the challenges that Taevon talked about. And I have to say, as a resident of Florida, I'm very proud of our state, because our state has made some serious moves over the past decade to make it easier for young people from foster care, from homeless situations, those who grew up, were adopted from foster care, or who even were in relative care, to get ahead. And the reason I say that is because Florida is one of the few states that provides tuition waivers for young people from foster care and homeless and all those groups that I talked about. And those young people can also get pretty much a guaranteed Pell Grant. And for some of them, they also can get a stipend from the state to help them in school. So I like to say that, a young person who graduates from high school and is on their way, gets into college or some other post-secondary training, can get up to $17,000 cash and prizes. But unfortunately, a lot of them don't graduate. And Taevon's situation, he was so close to graduating, and yet when he said I was 18 years old and still in high school and left my group home, Well, that's a pretty challenging situation. Very few people at 18 years old are told, okay, you don't have this place to live in anymore, you got to live on your own. Well, last year, the state of Florida once again came through and said, you know what, that's not a good situation. So let's extend the chance for foster care up to the age of 22, or 21, I think, so that now Florida has extended foster care. And these young people, if they can arrange it either with their foster home or with a group home, can stay under the auspices of the state for those extra couple of years. Because the reality is, in this state, more than 60% of young people at age 18 are still in high school.
Wow, that's a huge number.
It's a huge number.
And it's putting a big stress on the college system as well. So we're going to take a break from the panel for a second and hear from Tom Albano from Broward College about some of the things that they're doing to help students make their way through their college career.
College readiness, as defined either coming to Broward College or to any college or university, is really in different areas. One of them is academics, obviously. And we define college readiness in reading, writing, and math. And we define it by having students being able to do college level work on their own without any assistance and without being in any type of developmental course. But also college readiness also includes having other areas that will have them be successful here at college. Number one, other than academics, is career readiness. Students who know what major they want to major in, students who know what profession they want to go into, are more likely to be successful here at college than students who come here really not knowing what they want to do. Broward College is an open access college, and what open access means is that anybody who has a high school diploma or a GED can be accepted to Broward College. We don't have an entrance criteria like universities have, where we look at GPAs, we look at test scores. Basically, we are the chance for students who really want to come to our school because either they can't get accepted into a university or because this is their first choice. Broward College has approximately 70,000 students, and most of the students actually come directly from Broward County Public Schools. We have a lot of track record with regard to students coming and placing in developmental ed. Last year, for example, about 75% of the students who came to us from Broward County Public Schools tested in one or more developmental course. That doesn't necessarily mean that the students overall were in developmental education. What it meant was that the students took a test, the PERT exam, and didn't do well on the PERT exam in one of those three areas, reading, writing, and math. And as a result of that, they placed into a developmental ed course. This year, there's been a change in the legislation that the students who come to us now no longer need to take a placement test. Our placement test has traditionally been the PERT, although we accept the ACT and the SAT also. And based upon previous years, when students came to us, they took the PERT, and if they did not score college ready in either reading, writing, or math, they were put into a developmental course. Now students can opt out of that. Students can either take the test if they want to or not, and they can actually go straight from high school into all college ready, meaning college credit courses, as opposed to developmental. So the college is very concerned about that because we want to make sure that students are taking the appropriate classes. We want students to be successful while they're here. We want them to make the wise decisions about taking a course that they will be successful in, that they will have the skills to be able to complete and to be able to feel confident in their skills. So what we are doing as a result of the legislation is we're really changing our approach to the school district. And rather than waiting for the students to come to us, we're looking for partnerships with the school district to be able to provide college readiness services while the students are still in high school. So some of the things that we're doing, for example, this summer, we're having summer programs for all of the high school students on all of our campuses to come to learn different test prep, ACT test prep courses, to learn career readiness and career exploration courses, to take courses that specialize in political science, visual and performing arts, computer coding, and different types of courses that the students will get a feel for so that they can actually make the right decisions when they're choosing a major and choosing a career. When you come to Broward College, we have a variety of services that are on each college campus. Those services are right from the beginning as part of the admission process. We of course want all students to complete a FAFSA, a financial aid form, because we find that a lot of our students, actually about 80% of our students, do qualify for financial aid. And by coming to Broward College is very cost effective. And Broward College, for an annual tuition, is about $2,500. If the students receive a Pell Grant through their FAFSA application, they actually can get most of that paid for if they qualify and have a low income. And about 80% of our students are now receiving financial aid. So that's one of the burdens for students who are transitioning to college, is how do I pay for college? The other thing is, as you mentioned, the students who come who are not prepared academically. We do, of course, have developmental courses, but we also have student success advisors on all of our campuses that really try to work with the students in finding what their needs are. Some of those needs are academic. Some of those needs are not academic. It may be very specific non-cognitive areas that we need to work with the students. Some of the students actually need time management, goal setting. Some of them actually need to really do a career assessment and see what their passion is, and to be able to align their passion with their skills to be able to make the appropriate choices to choose a career. We also have, once the students begin classes, on all of our campuses, we have learning resources. The learning resources are in the form of tutors and labs, where a student, say for example, might need assistance in math, might go to a class, leave the class, not understand what was just spoken to in class, could actually go to a math lab, sit with a tutor, and can actually then go a second chance over the lesson and get assistance with every type of homework or studying. So these services are available on all of our campuses for students, and the students just really need to take advantage of them. But all of the students in all of our programs are all looking for the same focus, and that focus, and all the staff at Broward College, is for the success and graduation of our students. The one thing that I would like to add is that college today is not an option. College today is really the extension of high school, and it should be something that all students are looking for, not necessarily just to get a degree, but to get some type of skills. At Broward College, we have over 175 programs, and those programs include career and technical education programs, they include associate degrees, and they include bachelor degrees. And we basically have a program that can meet the needs of any student who comes here. Those career and technical education programs could be completed sometimes in less than a year. It's not going to guarantee that the student will get a degree from it, but it could provide some really good job skills that could make the transition that students need into the workforce.